35192. Want to send me a text? AlanCoxShow.com, all the other stuff. Cavaliers are on the road tonight. They're going to play the Wizards in D.C. That is a 7 o'clock game here on MMS, so 6:30. So when the pregame coverage will begin, all throughout the month of November, remember you can use the promo code HARVEST at CLE Clothing Company, and that word will get you 20% off whatever you buy. You want to use it in one of the stores, you can, and they're always getting new stuff in, always getting awesome new designs in. They got the MMS retro gear in there. So whatever you're looking for, you'll be able to find something you like. But just give them HARVEST when you're checking out, and you get 20% off all through the month of November. Want to shop online? It's easy enough. You go to cleclothingco.com, and you can use HARVEST there, too. A couple hours away from the Bill Squire Friday Get Down.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm looking at my rundown sheet.
It's going to be a fun one today.
Oh, boy.
Galugga, galugga, galugga.
Galugga, galugga. Right. I always love seeing Tom Papa.
Oh, he's great.
Guy's
He's
the best.
fantastic.
I wanted to ask him, though, and he's never done Comedians in Cars, Good and Coffee, has he?
I don't think he has, no.
No. I'm curious why, because he is so tight with Jerry Seinfeld. Alan, did you see fight breaks out at Popeyes? I did see this. Every day there's a new Popeyes chicken sandwich story.
I went to Popeyes today.
You did?
On my way to work, yeah. I stopped through the one over there on Lorraine and Bunce. Or not Lorraine and Bunce. Lorraine and Warren.
And what did it look like?
There was like 2 cars in front of me and no chicken sandwiches.
Oh, seriously? They have a sign up? No chicken.
It just says no sandwiches.
So at this point, you can assume if there's no line, they're out of sandwiches.
Exactly.
So what do you get? Like you'd go through and were you just going to check, or you wanted to get a sandwich?
I was gonna try and grab some sandwiches for us to eat on the show, but they didn't have any, so I just got some like chicken strips.
Yeah. I hear those are pretty legit though too.
Yeah, they're great. It's still good chicken. You get a biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently another video goes viral from San Antonio, Popeye's location, where an employee and a customer are throwing trays at each other.
Oh, really?
Because apparently a woman was in the drive-thru, but then walked in the side door of the restaurant behind the counter.
Oh, really?
Stuck her head
the
in.
employee
It was
entrance.
the kitchen, employee entrance. And the employee's like throwing tea at the woman, trying to get her out.
Oh my God.
Poor
Popeyes
people.
is loving this. Popeyes
This is going to be how the world ends: is people fighting over chicken sandwiches.
It's not going to be gas or water or supplies. It's going to be chicken sandwiches.
Chicken sandwiches. That will be the end.
Man wearing a veteran's hat pulled the customer out of the store, and then they got into a fight outside, and that was a whole thing. A tray melee, if you will.
The chickening continues.
The chickening, that's what they're calling it. If you're following these kinds of stories on social media, you'll see that hashtag floating around, because there are so many of these kinds of tales that the chickening is upon us.
And that's the thing. Like, if you just go through there and you don't get the sandwich, you can still get their chicken, and it's pretty much the same chicken.
You can get, you can get the chicken in another form.
Right.
Give me a box with chicken in it.
Yeah.
Just not on the bun. I'll go home. I'll take the chicken you give me.
I'll get a bun, yeah.
I'll make a sandwich.
If I need it to be in sandwich form, I'm fine with chicken strips. I'm not a chicken sandwich guy. I'd rather have just, like, chicken fingers, chicken nuggets, things like that.
You're not a poultry elitist.
No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm poultry-verse.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Bone in, bone out, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give me some chicken.
Thinking about Seinfeld, by the way.
Why?
Because I love Jerry Seinfeld and I love Tom Papa, and that Venn diagram is almost a circle. The guy that played the Moyle, the story was he died some months ago. I forget the actor's name, but I played the clip at the time. It was a very well-known scene. The episode was The Briss, and this Moyle who was very jittery. You know, he cuts Jerry's finger and he's bleeding and whatever. Well, the actor who played him died a while ago, and they found him dead in a trail. Charles Levin was the actor's name, and in July, they found him at the bottom of a slope in Oregon, in a remote part of Oregon, and they weren't sure if he'd gone out there to kill himself.
Was he living for himself?
They don't know.
He's
Maybe.
running around down the mountain going, I'm living for me!
I'll tell you what.
Falls down the mountain.
If he had done that, maybe they would have been able to find him. Mm-hmm. We were following the screams, but there was nothing like that. He was 70, and he went missing in late June. And by the time they found him, they said that there wasn't much left.
He got picked apart?
Yeah, that's all. That's the new information. I was reading an updated story on it. They said that because initially they were like, we found him, and because of the decomp, there's not much left. But now they've determined that he was partially consumed by vultures.
Ew.
Ooh.
Consumed by vultures, of course, at the Agora tonight. It's going to be a good show. I like the way they described it. Charles Levin's body was discovered naked without, quote, external genitalia present.
Ooh. Wait, is there internal genitalia?
Yeah.
On a lady,
sure.
not on a guy.
Maybe. So,
Ooh, they ate his junk
Vultures
off.
Ate Madi is the name of...
Do you think there's like one vulture eating it, and then like another vulture's like, you're gay?
Probably.
I'm just trying to eat, man. It's like, you're eating a penis. You're gay.
I'm having a ball. Slow down.
Pause. Mm-hmm. You gay.
Like the old Frank Zappa album, Weasels Ripped My Flesh. This one is Vultures Ate My D. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found him, just his remains, his badly decomposed body. They think that maybe he fell down a ravine while he was trying to get help. They said that he didn't have any obvious signs of injury. It wasn't like anybody beat him up.
No broken legs or anything like that?
And they didn't say...
What about like head trauma?
They said his head was still attached to his body.
Well, that's good.
But there was significant decay around the mouth, exposing his jaw. Signs of animal scavenging, likely in the form of vultures. They declared the death accidental.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And also, but
They found his car in a remote area, and they also found the remains of his pug inside the car.
Oh,
They found
no, that makes it so much sadder.
Yeah.
They found a pug skeleton, his dog Boo Boo Bear, inside the vehicle.
All
That
that
makes
remains.
it so much.
But imagine like your kids call and go, "Hey, my dad's missing. We don't know where he is," and they find him. But
Yeah, circle of life. He's giving back. It's not one of those things where you're in like an apartment just rotting away. At least animals are able to live off of you.
yeah, that's
Or
true.
something.
You're providing nourishment for the flora,
For the vulture.
flora and fauna
Yeah.
around you.
Animals always eat off of you. Like when you're in the ground, worms eat you. So
True.
Yeah, but when you get put in the ground, you're in a wooden box, and the's like they're not getting to you right
make
away.
it a little game. Whoever
Takes
gets to it.
forever for all that stuff to break down.
But is it worth it? Yes.
Well, like my decomposed human.
I know some dogs
Nice
that
and
will,
aged.
I know some dogs that would dig me right up. They can dig holes like nothing.
Yeah, but can they get into?
They're not going to dig into a coffin.
They're not gonna get into a coffin, though.
They could.
Those are sealed for health purposes.
How
I
do the
believe
worms get you?
They get through the seal. I don't know.
But it takes forever for those coffins to break down to a point where you're going to be able to get in. And a lot of coffins now are made of metal.
I was gonna say
I don't like-
the worms get in when they start to decompose. I think, or when something breaks down and the worms get in. It's not like they get in the next day.
Does the coffin dissolve?
I don't. No.
It
No.
doesn't get confiscated.
No, you're in like a little vault. I think.
I can't believe I got into it before you guys did.
I wasn't thinking about it.
We think of real words.
Yeah.
Confiscated.
But I think I don't like coffins. I like the idea of being put in the ground and actually decomposing.
Being put in the ground.
rather than being in a coffin where you're decomposing in a box. That's not the right way to do it. I'd rather do like the burlap sack where they just throw you in and then you break down and actually become part of the earth again.
I was gonna say I feel like you want to be like a spread guy, like just throw me somewhere.
Oh, I want the tree thing.
I want to be mulch.
You want to be mulch?
Where?
Anywhere.
I want the tree thing where they put your body in with a tree and then grow into the tree.
Yeah, that's good too.
I like that one because
That's
then I'm
good
going to try and
too.
take over that tree and create
the Bill
the
tree.
tree.
One of the
Yeah.
branches is just going to be his like finger blasting hand, and there's going to be a gazebo right next to it.
And he planted right next to a gazebo.
How great would that be if I was turned into a tree and then that tree was cut down and turned into a gazebo, right?
It's the circle of life. He was in Bill's arms. Now he's a gazebo.
Thanks for the dog info, Alan. Now I'm about to walk into Walmart crying. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah, I mean, the coffin, you're in a vault there. So the body, like, I think it kind of keeps the body intact for quite a while.
Right, which is not what we need. We need this stuff to go
It needs to be
away.
broken down.
It needs to be broken
we
down.
We need that phosphorus to be in the soil.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of the coffins are made of, very varnished wood, or they're made of metal, and they're never gonna really break down, or it's gonna take years and years and years, rather than just putting humans in the ground and let them turn into mush.
If we're serious about recycling, that's what we should do. But I think a lot of states had laws where you couldn't do that.
Which is stupid.
Yeah. Well, but they also, there was the issue of they don't want embalming fluid getting into the groundwater.
Well, we don't need to
and things
embalm
like that.
people either. Like, the whole thing is a racket. We don't need to. People can die and then go away.
Put them in a bag and put them in the ground.
Exactly.
I understand.
Right. And
Yeah.
not a plastic bag.
Well, because what's burial anyway? It's just an old superstitious idea.
Yeah.
They're like, keep the body for when they're risen again. It's like that's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
So
Not gonna
it's
happen.
all
It's not how it works.
Yeah, it's a thousands of years old religious superstitious nonsense.
And those.
That's why I hate to see like people in these big mausoleums or like a crypt, like this testament or monument to when they were alive. And it's this building you go,
It's gorgeous though.
Well, but it's like,
millions of dollars.
But what a waste of space, and
But it's a way to honor someone. It would be just like
Right,
if it
but
was-
you can honor someone, but you don't have to take up that kind of resource or that space.
I mean, military cemeteries are pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, veteran cemeteries.
Those are very intense. My
They
grandpa's
are,
in one.
man. Yeah, they do the 21 gun salute.
I've never
Takes
seen that
forever.
before.
It's tough, huh?
I've never seen that before.
It's intense. They hand you the, literally, I met my mother-in-law at her mother's funeral. And so, because Gwen took me and we hadn't been dating long, and I'm just trying to
give
be
you
a
casings.
good boyfriend, and I'm quiet, and they do the 21 gun salute, and they hand you the casings, and they're folding the flag. Oh, man. It is intense. And then you think about people who are like doing this for their 19-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No,
my
no,
God.
no,
I
that's
mean, her
heavy.
grandmother was, an elderly woman. She had been in the Navy when she was a young woman. Both of her grandparents. But on her mom's side. So they were both in that veteran cemetery. But, ooh, boy. It's heavy duty. All coffins are put into a concrete vault underground. Not according to Watchmen.
But still,
Doy.
you put dirt on top of that, so something's going to get in.
But again, that's still more stuff that we don't need to do.
Yeah.
The funeral industry is a real racket. Those guys make so much
I mean,
money.
it's never going to go away.
People are always going to die.
They always have customers.
Yep.
But man, they make a lot of money off all these different things that they do, and all the ways that they can upsell your death.
I always think about that. I'm like, okay, there is an finite amount of plots in a graveyard. What do they do after they're all filled? Do they own multiple
Double 'em up.
But no, I'm serious. Like, do they own multiple cemeteries? Like, do you have to move to the next spot? Because eventually we will run out of space. We run out of space all the time. Where will you put a graveyard then?
You gotta.
Because there's one over here on Rockside, and I always talk about it because I'm like, it's so weird. I never see anybody in there, and I think
because like everybody in that graveyard over there, it's
been
all,
dead for like 100 years.
I think like the most recent grave is from like 30 years
But have
ago.
you ever been there? You don't know.
I walked over there
Why?
because I was just
Graveyards are cool.
Well, I was just walking one day, and I'm like, you know what?
Like,
I'm gonna go through here one day.
It's weird to see no one there, but I think it would be even weirder if I did see someone like mourning as like we are on our morning commute and just having our coffee or me listening to Celine Dion.
Someone sobbing at a
And they're-
gravestone.
Yeah, with like 1,000 cars right next to them. It would be really weird. So I always think about,
You son of a bitch, you moved the cemetery, but you left the bodies, didn't you? You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
Why does he scream like that?
So over the top.
And he does the exact same line twice. You son of a bitch, you only moved the headstones and you kept the bodies. You son of a bitch, he does it both times.
He's in the moment.
He's in the moment. Why?
Why?
Speaking of people looking rough, did you see Matthew Perry?
Oh, yeah.
Who's Matthew Perry?
He was
Chandler Bing on Friends. I thought you were some big Friends fan.
I wasn't a Friends fan.
Every time I play something having to do with Friends, you go, yeah.
I don't think.
My roommate was. I watched it. It's funny, but
I played that Billy Joel mashup, and you were like, eh. I thought you were all excited.
He thought it was going to be the Friends song. And then
because I just do the clap. Like,
you were.
Yeah, everyone knows that theme song.
Anyway, I hope Matthew Perry is okay. Even when the show is going on, and in years since, I've enjoyed every show Matthew Perry has ever been on. They always get canceled. But he has had very public problems with drugs and alcohol, and they said if you watch closely back in the day, even on Friends, you could tell when he was on the pills because he was very, very thin. And then when he'd go to rehab or whatever, he'd put on a little bit of weight. But anytime Matthew Perry was real skinny, they were like, that's when he was having a hard time. So a couple of days ago, there's a TMZ picture of him looking like a homeless guy on a street corner. He's coming out of a restaurant. He's with some unidentified woman, and he's got a T-shirt on, and he's smoking a cigarette. Fine. I mean, who knows? You're a celebrity. You can dress however you want. Well, then Courtney Cox goes on Instagram and says, I just want to let everybody know Matthew's doing great. And she does a close-up selfie of the both of them, and he looks like somebody put him through the Face app to see what you'd look like when you're 90.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
He looks
Her
bad.
selfie? He looks like he has been given mortuary makeup. Like, I hope he's okay. Because these Friends people are only like 52 years old, maybe. He looks awful.
Like, what's his face? Matt LeBlanc. You know, he's got Silver Fox thing going, but he looks good. He looks great.
Well,
Jennifer Aniston looks amazing.
Yeah.
But then you see him, and you're like, wow, life comes at you fast.
Lisa Kudrow was the oldest one in that group, so she's pushing 60, I think. And Matt LeBlanc said he dyed his hair for Friends. He's like, I've been gray since my 20s. So he finally let that go. But Jesus, I hope Matthew Perry's okay.
But even with the gray hair, he still looks like healthy and fit. And
Matt LeBlanc does.
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc does. Matthew Perry, if you see these pictures of him on the street on this date or whatever, it's brutal.
No, the street is one thing because it's from a distance.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the close-up picture. Yeah. Holy cow.
Well, that's like...
People are like, why does Matthew Perry look like milk?
And it's one of those things where you see the one on the street and you're like, oh, he doesn't look good. And then her trying to be like, no, he's fine. Look at him, he's fine. Like, no, you're not helping. You actually made it worse.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Al. How you doing?
What's going on, Bill?
Just want to tell you on the grave site. So my dad, who passed away, bought us all the kids' grave sites back when we were little kids.
When you were little kids, he bought your grave sites?
Was it a Christmas present?
Wow, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. At least I got a present.
Yeah, right.
So I'm 58 now, and married and all that, and so what am I going to get buried on one side of town? My wife on the other side.
I was going to say, I'm really surprised that he would do that.
Well, what it is it's actual. Once you buy a plot, it's almost like a commodity. It's when that cemetery is filled up. Like, say I got it for $3,000, I could sell my, plot or two for $10,000 a piece.
It's like he was buying you stock in the cemetery.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather he purchased me gold or something. I don't know.
That's pretty cool, though. You're going to need it. I mean, someone eventually is going to buy it.
So you can sell the plot.
Yeah. So that's how those cemeteries work when it gets really filled. But I always say, by the time I'm going to use that thing, I'm not going to care because I'll be dead. So.
Well, yeah, and it used to be in cemeteries when they still had some space, they would put couples side by side. Now they stack them, I think.
Yeah, because it's like Poundcake said, we're running out of space. So,
Mom right on top of Dad, just the way Dad wanted it.
God bless him. He wanted to keep the family together, but.
So what'd you sell the plot for, Bill?
Oh, I still got it.
Oh, you do?
I'm getting near the age where you hate to think about stuff like that, but
Sure.
time to figure it out. But
Yeah.
as I always say, my wife doesn't care what I do, so
Right.
and they always live longer than the men.
Yeah, that's true. Or at least it feels like it.
I say sell that plot and go on vacation.
Yeah, we're going on a grave vacation.
Take a cruise.
There you go.
There you go. All right, thanks, Bill.
All right, guys. Have a
All right,
good
there
week.
you go. There's Bill on Lakewood. Boy, look at that. Yep.
Now I wish I had a plot to sell. Sell that in a minute.
Go buy a plot.
And then I got to let it appreciate in value.
My family is always the one, like, it's either my mom or my aunt who always has to put forth the money when someone dies. Everyone looks to them like, oh, so how much you're going to put forth? $3,000, $6,000? Like, so when my uncle passed away, which was like the day or the night before my graduation party, they didn't even have a funeral. Like, they had a ceremony at the gravesite. They went to my grandmother's gravesite and just scattered his ashes. That's all they did.
Man, it's like if you're Jewish, they just you get right in the ground,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
You die, and like 8 hours later,
Nobody
you're buried.
had any money for all that, and they just scattered him around my grandmother.
Yeah, I'm for that.
All right, I'm going to break. We're going to put the last person on Bill's karting team after the break. We're doing the Alan Cox Show High Voltage Indoor Karting Challenge on the 23rd of this month, each of us with a team. Bill's Cartiac Kids has one spot remaining, so we'll take care of that after the break. If you want to see how you can join us for it out in Medina on the 23rd, AlanCoxShow.com. Use the keyword karting.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.